What's up, guys? Steve with Scotching Things. Hey, sorry, you got the sun coming in on me. It's gonna be a kind of a shitty video, but who cares? They're all shitty. Oh man, we are heading home. I just kind of wanna, this is gonna be just kind of a rambling video, just to kind of explain some stuff and maybe go over some work stuff, and I see, whatever, you know. So it's Saturday the 29th. We are heading home. I just posted a video early this morning. I woke up in the hotel and couldn't sleep, so I posted a video. I've got lots of, if stuff doesn't on the channel is not always going to be in like chronological order. I've got a bunch of videos that I had filmed or unboxings that I'd done, and you plan on doing it when you're on the road, and either you get bad internet or you're just too tired or just whatever. So that being said, like I still got a 187 to show you. I can't even remember, a Strider video. And then I've got I know there's 3 knives at home for me with 2 more on the way. Just insane. Bought one to help a guy out and don't need it, so I'm just gonna sell it. What else? I'm gonna sell some stuff. I've been on the, you just get in your own head, I've been gone for, no, this isn't a pity party. I'm just trying to explain shit, and then something just flew out the window. Oh well. God, so we've built, if you follow me on Instagram, I've been posting a bunch of bin pictures, and that's just, I take them when we're done and then post them whenever. But the last 6 bins, if you count on there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm sorry, wait. 7 bins were within the last month. Within the last 30 days, we've done 7 bins. Not all were, 3 48s. Were pretty good size. 3 42s were, those are smaller bins, and then a big 60 footer. So pretty proud of my guys on that one. We knocked that thing out in 4 days. Didn't have to do the floor, but 4 days start to finish, and that was with some early days off because of wind. So that was a big bin. But I'm fucking tired, guys. I am tired. All the guys are tired. We are going to take 3 days off. I told them I'd have them home for Halloween so they could be with their kids. And hold on, some guys. So they could be with their kids. And I got a couple guys with young kids, so they want to take them trick-or-treating. So that's the deal. Because in the last 30 days, we've had 4 days off. We've been home for 4 days out of 30. And it's not a pity party, I'm just tired. And that's how it is this time of year. You're just grinding, and we'll take 3 days off, and then we gotta head down to Kansas to put up a bin, and then put a spiral on, and then some guy maybe wants us to tear down 3 bins, and then we might have 2 more to put up, and there won't be as much of a rush. We'll work those around weather since they're end of the year projects. In my business, like, guys constantly want, and I think it's not just farmers, but people in general always want a good deal, right? Well, I mean, these farmers want you to tear down and move a used bin or do, but they don't want to pay, right? They don't want to pay the money because they don't want to pay the money to tear it down or put it back up. They don't see, because a lot of times when they buy a new bin, the cost of construction is factored into that bid, so they never see what it costs to put a bin up. And then they don't think about, you have to buy new nuts and bolts and hardware for the bin. They think they have this bin. Well, a lot of times used bins are worthless. I mean, just worthless, because they're always old. They're always small. I mean, nowadays, very few people put up small bins nowadays. It just doesn't make sense financially for their crops and stuff. So I'm pulling my telehandler, if you can see that behind me. I'm in the Smelly Mouse truck. So Yeah, it's been a grind. This season's been a grind, you know. Especially, it's harder when you're on the road. You work harder, not harder. We always work hard, but like, you know, when we're by home, you know, we'll try and, you know, unless we're trying to crank something done, you know, we'll take off early a couple days during the week. You know, we'll have the guys home by, you know, 6:37 instead of 8:30, just so they can see their families more. But when you're on the road, you just work. And I've talked with guys. I've got 6 guys. Started the year with 4, and I've got 6 now. My 3 main guys and 3 newer guys who are everybody's clicking now. The newer guys takes them a while to catch on and know what to do, so they're not, you know, so they know what bolt to use in what location, or they know what tool they need. They know what the next step is, so there's not like a lot of standing around and like watching, you know, while they try and figure out the process. And it's worked out really nice, and I'm grateful for those guys, because this will be the best, I think, the best year, the most bins we've ever put up, and we had a slow start to the season with the weather. So hopefully next year usually we don't start booking stuff until December, January, and I've already got 9 bins on the books for next year, so it's going to be a busy year again. But honestly, looking for some time to wind down, and it's honestly, like, it's hard to say no to money. Like, you start planning, like, all right, we're gonna start winding down in November and go fishing in December, take the guys down to Oklahoma and fish for a couple days, and then start traveling with, you know, family and friends, and that's what we do in the winter. Just kind of be home and relax. But it's like, oh, hey, I've got 2 more bins. You know, if the weather, well, yeah, okay, that's money. If the weather's, you know, nice, we'll crank them out. What else? Oh yeah, okay, so let's talk about knives. Like, I just posted that Demco video this morning at like 6 in the morning in the hotel. But it's funny, like, I have this on the road with me. Like, that's how much I like this knife. I always bring knives to mess around with in the hotel, or carry. I've got my dedicated work stuff, and I'll carry this at work, but I like this knife so much. It's one of the ones you want to take, and so at night when you have a little downtime, you know, to mess around with. Yeah, so there's that. Like I said, I've got 3. I know there's 3 packages at home, 2 more on the way. I'm gonna sell some stuff. Not because I need to, but you feel like, I've mentioned this before, but you feel bad. You just accumulate all these knives, and I know I'm not going to carry some of them because there's others I would rather carry, so I'll move them on. It's not that I don't like them, I just like something else more. So there's that. Back to work real quick. You guys probably have never seen him, but I'll watch him I kind of find him annoying, but I'll watch it. I found it last year, his channel, only because there was a video about, they had done a new grain bin project, and the guys we just built for O'Neill Family Farms, 3 or 4 years ago when we built their other 2 bins for them, he videoed the whole thing, so you can see that. And then it's harvest right now, and I didn't see them at all, so I don't know if there'll be a video of this bin going up or not, but check it out. O'Neill Family Farms is their channel name. But there's another YouTuber in Iowa called Cole the Corn Star, and he's a pretty big, I mean, 500,000 subs, but I found him because they put up a big bin project last year. And that's interesting, because that's my line of work. So, but they've had issues, and I've commented like a couple times like just their bin placement. I mean, they had to do change some stuff like door locations, which is a pain in the ass on these bins, because that door is like 1,500 pounds. So, like, I was wondering, like, was there not communication before. Like, I'm lucky. Like, I was trained and worked for my father-in-law, who had been in the industry for 50 years. He's well known. We have a good reputation, but partly it's because it's rubbed off, but we just have a good, you know, reputation. He helped one of the companies design a roof years ago, when they redesigned the roof. That's how, I mean, he's well respected, and I'm lucky because you carry that work ethic on, and that stuff, and it rubs off on you. And we get calls all the time because the manufacturer of bin will give our name out to someone looking for a bin. I have like 7 main dealers, but I've picked up, I mean, since I took over the company 2 years ago, I've picked up 1, 2, 3, like 4 new dealers. So that's a good thing. But yeah, this is gonna be a long one. I'm just kind of rambling about work, but I just kind of want to explain some stuff. But it's all about communication. Like when I get to the site, I meet with if it's the farmer or the dealer, to go over where they want stuff, where they want their door, where their unload is going to be, where their fans are going to be positioned, where their platform or their spiral staircase is going to be, and you kind of like walk them through, because sometimes they have something in their head, and you gotta like help them out and be like, well, you might want to put your spiral over here so it gets more sun in the winter time, or are you going to build an existing, you know, are you going to ever build another bin? Then you might want your spiral over here so you don't have to buy another spiral staircase. You can tie into and use one staircase for 2 bins, with just a crossover platform then. So you kind of, you know, guide them and make suggestions and help work through their process of where they want, hey, where are you going to put your auger to unload, and this and that. And sometimes it's a bigger project and the dealer has everything mapped out because they're running, you know, they're running conveyors and all sorts of stuff. So stuff has to be exactly right here to tie into this other system. So it all really depends. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of rambling. They did this big project last year, and I kind of followed along because they put in 2 60-foot bins, one just like we got done, exactly like we just got done building. Same manufacturer, AGI MFS. So it's the exact same bin, and then they put in a cone bin and a dryer and a leg and all this other shit, and they've had nothing but problems. And they've been pretty good in documenting the problems. I think there's legal issues going on now. I think they're suing. But here's the thing. And in the comments, they're like, and I know if these people knew, because they watched the videos, they're always saying, well, I would sue that bin builder. I would do that. It wasn't the bin builder. Yeah, were the bin builders maybe not? There are some fly-by-night crews, guys. Trust me, we've seen them. And it's like that with any industry, right? But they're always like, well, I would sue that bin builder. The bin builder had nothing to do. The bin builder was a sub that came in and built those bins. It's the dealer who and his millwright crew that they're having issues in the concrete. I mean, they're having some major issues on that project. I mean, it is a shit show. But part of it is like, do you know what you're talking about? Part of it is maybe some shoddy craftsmanship, and part of it is you get what you pay for, right? I'm sure. So they call it their $1 million bin site, and that's probably what they spend, if not more, on that whole site, that whole project. But they're not giving you the whole story. I mean, you get what you pay for. If you're gonna go and do a project like that and spend that kind of money, you take bids, right? They would be dumb if they didn't, but I'm sure they probably talked to 3 or 4 different dealers, like millwright, like people who do this kind of thing. I call them dealers. Like, usually the dealer sells the project, you know, the bins and the leg and all this stuff, the dryer, and you take bids. And I know, because this bin we just shot up, we did it as a favor for another dealer, because we built the other two. There's two more there, and we built those 4 years ago, and they came in, someone else underbid them, they bought the bin through another dealer. That dealer couldn't find a bin builder, so they asked us to do it at the last minute. That bin's been there since June. So that's just, you know, you do that in life with anything, right? You buy a car, you go car shopping, you buy a house, you look at different deals. You always are getting different bids, right? You have a contractor come to your house, you get different bids. So don't tell me you're going to spend $1 million on a project and not have multiple dealers bid it. Did you go with the cheapest one? You get what you pay for, right? We are on the expensive side for bin builders, but you get what you pay for. The site is clean the entire time. We pick up our trash, you know, because the wind blows. You don't want that crap in the fields. All the little bolts and nuts, we go around with magnets, constantly picking those up out of the dirt. When we're done, the pallets are stacked nice and the trash is organized, so the dealer can come in and just dump it into a dump truck and go. You get what you pay for, and that's just with bin builders. That's with everything. You know, I've talked to other dealers that they're like, oh God, you know, my last bin builder, you'd walk around and you'd pick up a bucket's worth of bolts and nuts that they've dropped on the ground and they just left. So, you know, yeah, I'm sorry their project is a giant shit show and stuff is failing and not working right, but you get what you pay for. Like anything in life, there are premier bin builders, there are premier dealers with premier millwright crews that do the job right and make sure it's right the first time and are there walking through it. And also, one of the dealers we work for, they're pretty big in the Midwest in our area. I mean, they travel all over like we do, putting legs up and doing these bigger projects. And no startup, guys, and no startup on a new project like this is ever 100%. There's always stuff that goes wrong, but you need your dealer to, a lot of times, like this dealer I work for on these bigger projects, they'll be there on site for the startup, like when they get going with harvest, and they'll do test runs to make sure stuff runs right. But it's all part of the process. There you go, guys. Here's just a long-winded video about work and stuff like that. Tired. I'm gonna go home and open some knives and watch football and hang out with my family. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.